So our first point of discussion will be the fear of sharing income. Now, we live in a world where there's so many strange things that are happening when it comes to marriage. Now, one of the points we wanted to discuss was what is called a prenup. Now, the prenup is all about those who have assets, and when they're entering into marriage, they think about how can I protect this asset, or do I really want to share this, or what do I want to do with it? And sometimes you enter into marriage with this idea of almost selfishness. It's no longer what's yours is mine. It's what's mine is mine, and I'll decide what to do with it. And we live in a world full of selfish people who are entering into marriage with the idea that perhaps this might not work. So let's discuss what I will do with this before I get married.
Right. So we cannot call that commitment, because remember, commitment is an engagement. Mm-hmm. So you give yourself to the person. Whatever you have, you've got to share. Whatever asset you have, you've got to share. But you know what? We've got to look at both sides, both points, because there are some of the women somewhere there, they're getting into marriage or relationship because they want the asset of that person, or because they want the wealth, or to be part of the wealth of that person. You see, from the beginning already, the person behind her mind knows that, no, the reason why I'm getting married, or the reason why I'm married this person is because I want what he has. I mean, that could be both from a woman point of view and also from the man point of view. That some of the men also, they can see a very successful woman, but they get into that marriage because they want to share what she has. This is what the problem is. What do you think about that?
Absolutely. Now, we also have the issue of what is almost called the 21st century kind of marriage, where both are fully loaded. And when I say fully loaded, it means that these persons from a young age may have acquired asset, may have acquired, it could be home, cars, could be many different things. So already there is an attitude of, this is mine, that is yours, don't touch what is mine, and I don't want to touch what is yours. So already we have people entering into marriage with almost a sense of division already, and fear. There's no longer the understanding that whatever I have, I share my wealth with you. Now, sometimes it's a lack of training, a lack of teaching, and in most cases this can be fixed, because what we want to do is avoid young people or people over the age of 30 who have already in a way set themselves getting into marriage with a sense of fear that this might not work, and I want to hold on to what is mine because I don't want to lose it. In most cases, you can understand the fear, which is very unfortunate, and this is why we want to focus on marriage within Christ. Believers who understand their responsibility where God is concerned. Because what we're seeing in the world is too much division and fear. And the unfortunate thing is, we have a system that in some twisted and confusing way tends to favor the words of the woman over the man. And of course, it's an issue, and we have to address this. Why is this happening, and why are some women feeding on this systematic setup where the man is almost being attacked, where the woman, if for example there is a divorce in process, the woman tends to get favored with getting most of the asset, if not all of the asset, and then they leave the man high and dry. It's wrong, and it needs to stop.
I think it's just, it's a Western mindset. You see, because of the system, it has really changed how people look at marriage. You know, I can understand why so many people, some of the men, when they have wealth, when they have their own asset, they are scared, they are afraid to get into any commitment. But that's not an excuse. You see, there are so many good women out there that they're not greedy. There are so many good men out there. They're not greedy. You see, the Bible, when you read in the book of Matthew chapter 19, when the Pharisees, they went to see Jesus Christ, he said from the beginning it wasn't so. You see, the beginning of any relationship or any marriage is very, very, very important. So if you get into that relationship with an idea of being greedy, and it doesn't work. It doesn't work. We've seen so many problems, this is causing so much divorce. That's the reason why in the Western world, the rate of divorce is absolutely high. It's absolutely high. As my wife said, you see, when we get, it's a lack of teaching. There's no education when it comes to marriage. You see, we said before that it is easy to get a driving license. Why? Because you have to go through education, you have to go through training, you have to spend so much money. You can get a driving license. But when it comes to marriage, it's very easy. You can get married tomorrow. It's a lack of education.
That's right. That's correct. So the fact is, we don't want to be practicing the things the way the world does it. And if you are coming out of the world and now becoming a believer, then you've got to assess your marriage. You've got to assess that marital relationship that you have. What is your mindset? What are the things I've been practicing that I need to stop to align myself with God's original plan and purpose for marriage? Begin to get the right training. Begin to get the right education about your attitude, your behavior, your concepts, your ideas, and start to live a successful life, or look forward to a successful marital life the way God intended it.